Very physical game. It was really hard to get from A to B. But in the end, I think just our resiliency paid off and a little bit, like you said, a bit of our experience, and we just made some.
There were only 200 spectators dispersed among thousands of empty seats as the Liberty and the Spark squared off in what should have been a major WNBA encounter. There was a disturbing calm in place of the typical loudness, excitement, and spectacle. Seeing this harsh reality was more than just a letdown for the commissioner. It was a warning sign of the league's vulnerability. What caused such a breakdown, then, and why did the league's top official leave in exasperation? This is the startling tale. A league was revealed. The recent Sky vs. Liberty game, which was supposed to be exciting but instead turned into an almost bizarre show of emptiness, cruelly revealed the WNBA's frailty. What was supposed to be a high-profile, exciting match instead served as a sobering reminder of the league's dire situation. Large portions of the arena were hauntingly empty, with only about 200 spectators occupying the seats. In contrast to other sellout events, where the atmosphere had been infused with energy, cheers, and tangible passion, the sight was startling. There could not have been a more dramatic contrast. This was far more than just a low attendance rate. It served as a visual depiction of a league where Caitlin Clark's presence is increasingly crucial to its success. According to reports, the commissioner exited the arena in obvious frustration after seeing the nearly empty stands. Regardless of whether this walkout was a physical retreat or a symbolic act, it effectively conveyed the mounting fear and hopelessness among league officials. The incident brought to light a harsh reality. In the absence of Caitlin Clark, media attention, ticket sales, and fan interest all decline. In her absence, stadiums become ghostly shells of what they could and could be instead of lively centers of excitement. Put another way, the Sky vs. Liberty game turned into an unintentional exposé of the league's reliance on one exceptional player. The ramifications go well beyond one mediocre game. The WNBA has worked for years to develop its players and create a long-lasting fan base, but the truth is glaringly obvious. The league finds it difficult to keep up its momentum when Clark is not playing. Every seat that is empty and every cheer that is cancelled highlights a structural weakness that cannot be disregarded. Instead of showcasing elite basketball, the Sky vs. Liberty game was a stunning warning shot that exposed the shortcomings of the league's existing structure. The WNBA's long-term plan is seriously called into doubt by its reliance on a single player. If a single athlete receives so much attention, money, and fan interaction, will the league be able to expand and prosper? Whether seen as a sign of amazement, annoyance, or a silent appeal for reform, the commissioner's walkout represented the scope of the issue. It was more than just attendance. It was about the league's identity, its sustainability, and the sobering truth that, in the absence of its star power, the WNBA's best moments can rapidly pass. Ultimately, the Liberty vs. Sky game served as a warning. It demonstrated how structural reliance on a single person can make a professional sports league fragile, even if it is full of skill and promise. The commissioner's dramatic departure and the image of an almost empty arena served as a sobering reminder. Caitlin Clark is essential to the WNBA's success and reputation, and the league can no longer afford to overlook this fact. Caitlin Clark's performance and presence are now crucial to the WNBA's future. But how does this superstar's persistent targeting and unrelenting pressure affect not just her performance, but also the stability of the league? And without her, would the WNBA really be able to endure and prosper? Or has it grown overly dependent on her exceptional skill? Let's find out the specifics. The league's engine, Caitlin Clark, is more than just a basketball player. She is the WNBA's heartbeat, a force that changes the league's fundamental structure. Once filled with sporadic applause, arenas now erupt with expectation every time Serena takes the court. Huge crowds of admirers swarm to see her incredible charisma and skillful play. Sponsors take note and invest heavily in games that have become must-watch events as television ratings soar and social media erupts with highlights of her performances. Fans and pundits alike are captivated by Clark's unique ability to turn an average battle into a spectacle, transforming local contests into globally recognized displays. To put it simply, She raises every facet of the league and attracts admiration and attention in ways that no other player has ever been able to. However, the same genius that makes Clark invaluable also puts a great deal of strain on him. Because of her exceptional skill, opponents often use physical tactics and harsh fouls to slow her down, frighten her, or make mistakes. There is a chance of injury with every contact and startling play, a constant shadow that Clark has to deal with each time she puts on her trainers. Even little wounds, any setback, whether it be a bruised quad or a groin injury, has far-reaching effects that go well beyond her personal health. There is an instantaneous and indisputable knock-on effect when she is excluded. Television viewership drastically declines, ticket sales decline, and once exciting stadia become lifeless and hollow. When the economic engine she drives slows down, league officials, sponsors, and team owners are left rushing to keep things stable. More than merely a player missing from the game, Clark's absence represents the league's temporary loss of a pillar. Her unparalleled influence is demonstrated by the WNBA's reliance on her skill and star power, which also serves as a warning about the weakness of the league's existing setup. Her impact is so great that her presence, or lack thereof, determines the enthusiasm of fan bases, the atmosphere of entire venues, and the financial stability of teams. The WNBA's reliance on Caitlin Clark is blatantly obvious in a time when leagues frequently feature several players to share the spotlight. She is the pulse that sustains the league's energy in addition to being the heart of the Indiana Fever. Without her, the WNBA finds it difficult to sustain the enthusiasm, energy, and financial vitality that she readily provides, underscoring both her enormous significance and the pressing necessity for the league to develop and safeguard its greatest star. Beyond just being a player, Caitlin Clark is the lifeblood of women's basketball, and her every action has an impact on the entire sport. Can anyone, however, match her capacity to energize fans, fill arenas, and increase TV ratings? Or is she really unique? Let's now examine how her legacy is shaped by NBA acclaim, respect, advice, and appreciation for the WNBA. In addition to changing the Indiana Fever, rising star Caitlin Clark has completely changed the WNBA. She is impossible to ignore because of her talent, work ethic, and winning mindset, which have energized venues and attracted followers across the country. The mood shifts each time she's on the court. Excitement is in the air, TV ratings soar, and tickets sell out. NBA players who are used to her success are suddenly paying attention to her and publicly applauding her, which is not surprising. NBA players like Patrick Beverley and Kobe White have emerged as some of Caitlin Clark's most vocal supporters throughout her first campaign. After seeing her accomplishments firsthand, White calls her legitimate and compliments her spectacular highlights, record-breaking performances, and skillful command of the game. Beverley concurs, pointing out that Clark's presence attracts unmatched attention throughout the league. She keeps improving in spite of many physical fouls and aggressive defense, demonstrating that her exceptional technique, accuracy, and dominance are what really make her stand out. Known for his fierce competitiveness, European sensation Luka Doncic also offered his opinion, complimenting Clark as one of the game's top shooters and even speculating that she might be on par with him. Comparisons to Tyrese Halliburton have also been made, emphasizing their influence in basketball-focused areas and their similar abilities in three-point shooting and playmaking. Halliburton is thrilled that Clark is joining the Indiana Fever, pointing out that she can motivate players and energize the city. Another strong recommendation came from Shaquille O'Neal, who praised Clark on Angel Reese's podcast and emphasized her capacity to perform well under duress. Anthony Davis of the Lakers, who is accustomed to the scrutiny of hype and rookie pressure, praised her perseverance and poise in responding to criticism. Michael Porter Jr. even conjectured on how her potential would translate to the NBA, which is a rare recognition of her extraordinary talent. LeBron James, who is more familiar than most with the weight of high expectations, gave Clark straightforward advice. Remain modest, maintain your concentration, and take advice from veterans. Caitlin has followed his instruction, which focused on discipline and patience in the face of high media attention and competitive pressure, and she has excelled as a student of the game. Her skill set is similar to that of the all-time greats, as seen by Trae Young's praise of her basketball IQ and her ability to read defenses, create shots, and involve teammates. Steph Curry has also praised her outstanding floor awareness and shooting technique, emphasizing that her skill set extends well beyond her three-point range. She is a real performer who consistently improves her team. Draymond Green and Victor Wanyama provided background information by reminding viewers that Clark's ascent is built upon the legacy of previous WNBA greats and drawing comparisons between her rapid rise and their own experiences as highly anticipated rookies joining competitive leagues. She is the new face of the NBA thanks to her unquestionable influence, crowded arenas, increasing viewership, and NBA stars' acknowledgement. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent influencing the WNBA, not just a budding star. To what extent, though, does the league rely on her? And might an approaching crisis be indicated by dwindling attendance, stagnant revenue, and uneven player protection? Let's now examine how Clark's presence and absence actually affect the WNBA's future, the Sky versus Liberty catastrophe. The almost empty stands that greeted spectators at the Sky vs. Liberty game are a harsh reminder of Caitlin Clark's absence from the WNBA. The statistics reveal a terrifying tale when Clark isn't playing.